What do you do when the people you look up to let you down? When the leaders you trusted fail, it can feel like the ground beneath you is crumbling. But what if I told you that even in the midst of disappointment, there's a way to find hope, peace, and unshakable trust? Stay with me, because today we're going to explore how to trust God when leaders fail. Consider the example of a ship caught in a storm. The captain, the one everyone depends on to steer them to safety, suddenly makes a critical mistake. The crew is left scrambling, unsure of what to do. Fear sets in. Chaos follows. Now imagine being one of those crew members. How would you feel? Betrayed? Angry? Hopeless? This is how many of us feel when leaders, whether in the church, in our communities, or even in our families, fail us. It's disorienting. It shakes our faith, not just in them, but sometimes even in God. Have you ever found yourself asking, how could this happen? How can I trust again? If so, you're not alone. And more importantly, there's hope. The truth is, leaders are human. They make mistakes, they sin, and when they fall, it can leave us feeling betrayed, confused, and even questioning our own faith. But here's the deeper issue. When our trust is placed entirely in people, we set ourselves up for disappointment. People, no matter how good their intentions, are imperfect. And yet, God calls us to trust Him, even when the people we look up to fail. So how do we do that? How do we reconcile the pain of betrayal with the call to trust in a perfect God? Let's turn to Scripture for guidance. Psalm 146, 3-5 says, "Do not put your trust in princes, in human beings who cannot save. When their spirit departs, they return to the ground. On that very day, their plans come to nothing. Blessed are those whose help is the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord their God." This passage reminds us of a profound truth. Human leaders, no matter how powerful or influential, are limited. They will fail, but God never will. He is the one who is constant, unchanging, and worthy of our ultimate trust. Think of it this way. Trusting in human leaders is like building a house on sand. It might look sturdy for a while, but when the storms come, it collapses. Trusting in God, however, is like building on solid rock. No matter what happens, the foundation remains firm. So how do we shift our trust from people to God? Here are 3 practical steps. Refocus your faith. When a leader fails, it's easy to let their actions cloud your view of God. But remember, God's character is not defined by human failure. Spend time in prayer and Scripture, reminding yourself of who God is: faithful, just, and loving. Forgive, but don't excuse. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring wrongdoing. It means releasing bitterness and trusting God to bring justice. This frees your heart to heal and keeps you from being consumed by anger. Stay rooted in community. When leaders fail, the temptation is to withdraw, but isolation only deepens the wound. Instead, lean into a healthy, Christ-centered community where you can find support, encouragement, and accountability. Here's the challenge. Take a moment to reflect on where your trust lies. Is it in people, or is it in God? If you've been hurt by a leader's failure, bring that pain to God. He sees it, He understands it, and He wants to heal it. This week, commit to spending time in prayer, asking God to help you place your trust fully in Him. If you're struggling to forgive, ask Him for the strength to let go of bitterness. And if you've been distant from community, take a step toward reconnecting. Remember, God's plan for your life isn't dependent on the perfection of human leaders. His purpose for you is unshakable, even when others fall short. As we close, let me leave you with this. God is the ultimate leader who will never fail you. He is your rock, your refuge, and your ever-present help in times of trouble. When people disappoint you, He remains faithful. If this message spoke to you today, take a moment to reflect on it. Share it with someone who might need encouragement. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to this channel for more messages of hope and truth. Let's continue building a bridge from our heart to yours. Thank you for watching, and may you find peace and strength in trusting the one who never fails. When leaders fail, God remains faithful. Trust Him, and you'll find a foundation that can never be shaken. See you next time.